Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Karen Morley and Black Crow Walking, bringing you A Course of Love by Mari Perron. We are doing a study and we're up to chapter 6, verse 7. The fact that we are not alone in the world shows that you are not meant to be alone. Everything here is to help you learn to perceive correctly, and from there to go beyond perception to the truth. Karen?
What is the opposite of separation but being joined in relationship? Everything joined with you in relationship is holy because of what you are. Every contrast that you see here but points to this truth. Evil is only seen in relation to good. Chaos is only seen in relation to peace. While you see these as separate things, you do not see what the relationship would show you. Contrast demonstrates, which is why it is a favorite teaching device of the Holy Spirit. Contrast demonstrates only to reveal the relationship that exists between truth and illusion. When you choose to deny relationship, you choose a thought system based on the opposite of your reality. Thus, each choice to deny union reveals its opposite. What is separate from peace is chaos. What is separate from good is evil. What is separate from the truth is insane. Since you cannot be separate, all these factors that oppose your reality exist only in opposition to it. This is what you choose to create when you choose to pretend that you can be what you cannot be. You choose to live in opposition to the truth, and the opposition is of your making.
Choose again and let go your fear of what the truth will bring. What could be more insane than that which you now call sanity? What loss can there be in joining with what is so like yourself? It is only a small step away from where you currently stand, so helpless and alone. We'll leave it there for the moment and go back to verse 7. The fact that you are not alone in the world shows that you are not meant to be alone. We're born into a family,
Mm.
and that family is part of a community. And I wonder what it is, Karen, that stops us from wanting to be part of that community. Because I know for myself, I crave tribe. I crave that community. I crave that belonging. And so for me, what stops me from wanting to be part of or wanting to be joined in connection with is painful stories that I'm carrying in my body and in my mind about experiences that I've had in the past. So for me, it's really coming back to the present and seeing what's here. And what's here for me is definitely community after having just been in hospital, and the messages that I got from so many people was just profound. So I know that I'm a part of a community now. And I feel that more than ever.
Mm. I know for me, what comes up for me is that I have a tendency to isolate myself. So to withdraw from people around me and not reach out. So try and do for myself. And that there's an emptiness in that. But there's a longing for that community and that tribe and that being part of physically, and having people that I can depend on and people who I can talk with and chat with and share meals with, or joyful occasions with, or sadness. And that seems to be lacking in my life currently. And that's something that my heart and soul yearns for and reaches out for. So I have community online, but there is a missing of a community around. Yeah.
And it's interesting because I've just moved to the most amazing community, and within the first 2 days, everybody knew who I was. It was incredible, and people, just reaching out and just saying, I need this, and suddenly it was at my doorstep. So it's like I've been picked up and truly shown what community can be in Australia, which is quite amazing to me because we have this mentality here in Australia where you need to have that space. That's your space. Don't come inside it. And whereas in England they live on top of each other, so they're used to standing on top of you. But we have someone at the supermarket that actually stands right on top of us, and we go, "What the hell? This is my space. Get out of it." And I think that's because we have so much space here in Australia, and we don't have to build on each other, and yet there's a mentality in the city that does that. That says, "Oh, I have to live in the city with all these people." Um, yeah, so it's interesting. The fact that you are not alone in the world shows that you are not meant to be alone. Everything is here to help you learn to perceive correctly, and from there to go beyond perception to the truth. And I think they're talking more about how we perceive things, because we can be in a city full of people and still feel alone. That isolation, when your bowel chakra, sacral, is blocked, you'll isolate and feel alone in the crowd. So that's your energy system is blocked, and your perception. We perceive. Maybe we should stop perceiving, Karen.
I think so. I think so. I know in my life now, I go about when I remember, when I bring myself back to remembering, I will, even walking down the street or going anywhere, I will look at each person and I will think, you are a spirit being. You are a beautiful, beautiful person coming from the heart. And so I'm connecting in that way. My perception is not of people who are different and separate to me. It's of that we are joined, that we are. It's when I remember to perceive.
Well, I'm seriously with nonviolent communication practicing letting go of all judgments, opinions, and perceptions, because my perceptions are based on judgments that I've made from past. Everything I'm perceiving from a trained mind that learnt to judge this as good or bad, right or wrong. So I think I'm just going to give up this perception thing and just be with what's happening now from a curious position of fascination and wonder and what is here for me now, not what is here because I know this from somewhere else, but what is here for me now, and looking with fresh eyes.
Mm. I love that, Crow. I love that.
Mm. What is the opposite of separation but being joined in relationship? It's a question. What is the opposite of separation but being joined in relationship? When we look for the opposite, we sometimes find the truth. It's interesting. And the opposite of separation, being joined in relationship, we're in relationship whether we like it or not. We're in relationship with everything. I'm in relationship with my bed right now. It's keeping me warm. And it has my energy in it. Like if I tried to sleep on the other side of the bed, there is no way I would feel comfortable. So I'm having this relationship with my bed. My bed is moving with my shape, and it's expecting me to come in and enjoy its company. And we go away, and then we think, oh, I get to sleep in my own bed tonight. So you can join with anything, really, because everything is energy, and we're not separate. Although when I'm separate from my bed, I'm not happy. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
It is.
Everything joined with you in relationship is holy. I have a holy bed. Because of what you are, it's because of what I am. Because I am holy, and everything that is in my presence is holy because of that. Because I remember that everything is energy. Because I remember that everything is holy, that it's divinity experiencing life in form, and whatever that form is, whether it's a bed or a table or a tree or the lake or you and me, Karen, we're all divinity experiencing.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a peace to that too. There's a peace, and I know in myself when I remember that, I feel at peace. There is no angst.
Every contrast that you see here but points to this truth. Evil is only seen in relation to good. Chaos is only seen in relation to peace. And that's what happens to us when there's a war. We desperately, instantly look for peace and the expression of peace in our life. And, when chaos or drama happens around us, we're instantly wanting that calm and peaceful relationship or that calm and peaceful environment. One of the things that I have deliberately done in my life is set up my life to be a calm and peaceful place to be. Not just in my home, but also in my relationships. I've chosen to be with people who are calm and peaceful. So when drama happens, it's a shock. It's an absolute shock. I mean, it still does happen, but it's not something that I would deliberately put into my environment.
Mm. And in reading that, I'm seeing that if I am just being and accepting who I am, that I don't need to have that good and bad, right and wrong, chaos and peace. I just see clearly in one way that of love and how I am that. And so that wipes that out for me. If I'm truly in that place, that's what's coming up, that I do not need to have that comparison. It just wouldn't enter into my mind. So that's what I see as an aspiration of coming to that center, coming to that heart space, that there is no need to see things in view of evil or good or chaos or peace. It is.
Yeah, it's just the illusions that we buy into, like we deliberately watch. My dad deliberately watches the news 6 times a day and then reads the paper, So what's he feeding his mind with? And it's an addiction, really. It's an addiction to chaos and pain.
Mm.
So chaos is seen in relation to peace. While you see these as separate things, you do not see that what the relationship would show you. Contrast demonstrates, which is why it is a favorite teaching device of the Holy Spirit. Contrast demonstrates only to reveal the relationship that exists between truth and illusion.
Mm.
Welcome contrast. Welcome contrast. So maybe it's a good thing at the moment to be able to see something and then see what the contrast is,
I'm seeing what's coming up as I'm reading that too is that it's an amber light. So it's sort of saying warning, or not warning, but be aware, be aware. This is what's happening. So
Mm.
it is a signal to say, look again. How do you want to perceive this? Do you want to come from the truth, or do you want to perceive from illusion? So yes, seeing those two contrasts would actually signal to me to stop, be aware, and where do I choose to be?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think one of the greatest lessons I learned over the last few years is, how can I see this differently? That wonderful question. How
Mm,
can I see this differently? And so when I find myself getting tempted to roll around in that hamster cage, Karen, I just stop and I say, okay, how can I see this differently? And often the opposite completely gives me peace. It brings that desire for peace and calm back into my hemisphere of, and I get to make a better choice based on that. How can I see this differently?
mm, mm.
When you choose to deny relationship, you choose a thought system based on the opposite of your reality. So if we're making choices which is the opposite to our reality, and our reality is that we are um, divinity experiencing life in form in everything, when we're choosing the opposite of that, we're choosing the opposite of reality. And so, why are we doing that? I love that question. Why are we doing that, Karen?
Why? Why is the question?
Thus, each choice to deny union reveals its opposite. So it shows us,
Mm,
and we crave that connection. Well, I do anyway. I crave connection, and yet the temptation to isolate is always there. Like, is it easier to be out of relationship? Is it easier to live on my own? Is it easier? And yet at the same time having that desire and that need to be a part of. Yeah, so there's such a contrast there, even in our own systems, in our own thoughts, in our own hearts, wanting what isn't often, wanting that divine relationship with another being, another group of people, another, you know, support system of sisters or brothers that can support you through whatever, and it's not just about support either, it's about complete union, heart to heart. When you can look in somebody else's eyes, Karen, and truly connect, that is the joining, that is the union. And it doesn't have to be someone you know. It can be a complete stranger on a train, and you just have that single moment of connection. And it's so delicious. And I want that all day, every day.
I agree. That's what brings me joy is that connection, that deep connection with people. And as you say, it can be a singular moment, but it fills that space, that need. That is my true heart's desire, is that connection with others. And even as I go for a walk in nature, when I'm not going for a walk, I miss that connection with being out in nature with the trees and the birds and the air and the rising sun. I miss that connection.
Mm,
When I isolate, I'm denying myself that connection.
yeah. What is separate from the truth is insane. Since you cannot be separate, all these factors that oppose your reality exist only in opposition to it. This is what you chose to create when you chose to pretend you can be what you cannot be. You chose to live in opposition to the truth, and the opposition is of your making.
Mm. I can see for me there's all the thoughts, all the memories, all the constructs that I've created. They're really my biggest pitfall, I suppose. They create chaos in my life. They create disruption of harmony. So I create it. I create all of that. And be very easy to step off and blame someone else, but really it's me who's creating those perceptions.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So choose again, Karen.
Yeah. Every moment. Choice for something else.
And let your fear of what the truth will bring, and let go of your fear of what the truth will bring. What could be more insane than that which you now call sanity? What loss can there be in joining with what is so like yourself? It is only a small step away from where you currently stand, so helpless and alone. And the illusion is we are helpless. The illusion is we are alone. Because it's not the truth. The truth is we are all one, experiencing life in form. And it's so easy to be that. But it's hard to keep ourselves separate and locked away from community, locked away from the truth and the reality that we are all one being experiencing. And that is divinity experiencing through us. We are holy. We are holy because we are love or God or divinity or guidance of divinity experiencing life in form. And that's the easy path, Karen. And we choose that painful path. We choose the struggle and the survival. And why do we do that? Is it somewhere written in our DNA that we have to struggle and survive? Is that influencing how we see the world and who we are? You know, I love joining my energy with a tree. I love joining my energy with the twinkles on the water. You know, it's a delight. It's a bounce around for me. It's a happy place. And I love joining myself with the hearts of other people. And yeah, so I think today I'm going to do that. I'm going to strip away my perceptions that keep me separate or keep me in the illusion of separation. And remember this holiness that is experiencing life in form in all ways with all beings.
Mm. And for me, I'm going to, in each moment, choose again. Have a choice. Choose again.
Yeah, it's kind of saying, what else is here? You know?
Yeah.
I don't think I like this insanity. What else is here? Yeah. Yeah, let's be in that question today. What else is here? What else is appearing? What is it that I can't see? Holy Spirit, show me. Show me the holy in this.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And remember, today is about love. Today is about loving each other. And I love you. I love you, Karen. I love you, world. Stay safe. Be happy. Till tomorrow. Bye for now.